Hello guys, welcome back again. My name is Paul Kroon and I'm gonna be your host today. And in this video we're gonna go on with our custom generated form. So let's go to PowerApps. And in the last video we built this form group. We have a header, we have a submit button, which we're gonna do later on, and we have one control, and we put in a label. So let's go to the next level and say we want to add some elements. So we're gonna put in a text input control, and we're gonna put in a combo box, and this is okay for now. And we could also put in a date picker as the things we normally use in our apps. So let's select them all three, drag them to the back, and go to the advanced button. So here we first gonna go to the X parameter, and we're gonna connect that to the label control we made in the last video. Width. Width. Making it going directly to the left. And let's for this sake just... Oh no, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna do that later on, where we're gonna set the width based on the control itself minus the Y position or the X position of the control itself. So padding left, let's make that the same in 10. I like that. How that shows. The height is the same as the parent height. And let's copy this parent part, because the fill, it's gonna be the same as the parent. The font is the app font. And you see we only see those things which are the same for all the controls. So later on we have to do the controls by itself. So the size, the form data color. For the disable color, it's the same. This is connected to the parent again. Let's grab this part, copy it, and put it in the focus border thickness. This is the border color, border thickness, the border style. It's just all connected to the parent again. And the border color. So basically for all the controls we are done on this moment, and let's see how it looks. So we have totally the same color for all the controls. Now you see the controls, it's a little bit too white, but we're gonna fix that now by going to the width. Where is the width? And say we want to have the parent width minus the date picker 1 dot X parameter. And let's copy this part, because for the combo box we're gonna do basically the same only for the combo box, and the same for the text inputs. Only here we have a text input. So now we have a nice control, the same as we want. So let's put this above, because let's first start with the text inputs, send it backwards, and let's first rename this 11.0.02, and this is the text input. to 1 and to 1 label. So we have a label and we have the text input now in front, and we have some default values, but we don't want that to be text input, so let's change that. So the default, let's look at this control or this gallery and go to the onSelect statement, because here we do an update. The sample selected this item. So let's go here to the text and say this item dot sample heading. So this is the text we have, and let's connect this control, the text input default, to the sample selected dot sample heading. So now when we go to our control and we click one, we can have our default. And later on we kind of fix that when we want to have a new one, we get a button to do new, and this is gonna change. Oh, let's do that right away. So we take this control, we paste it again, and let's call it T-label 2, maybe, I don't know. Let's make it a little bit smaller in this case. Let's say the width should be around 80. Oh. So it's an edit. Let's call this new. Let's make it 10 or 20 of the side. Let's go here for the normal fill color. Let's see, this is the fill. It's the parent fill, and let's make this a color fade. Parent fill from 20%, I think. Let's do the same for the press field and the hover fields. So now we have our form and we have a button. Let's do something on the button, and what we're gonna do, and let's grab it from here on the onSelect. We're gonna set this to a blank. So now what happens is that when we click one, we get a record, and when we click new, it's gone. So let's put in a record and go on the new button to the visible property and say sample selected, and the is blank function, only we're gonna do the opposite. So when it's not blank, this sample selection, so there is an item in it, we want to show it, and as soon as it's empty, we ain't gonna show it. Now let's do one more thing. Let's say here is a with a text. Let's surround it with an if function. If sample selection, then existing form, and else. Let's copy this part. It's a new form, and then it's blank around it, because then we get a true or a false, and when it's blank, it's gonna be a new form. So let's put that in the front, and when it's not blank, it's an existing form. So let's look at it. We have selected information, so we see our field changing. When we say new, there is a new form and the field is empty, and also our variable is empty. So when we put the submit button, we're gonna check if this variable is blank or not. When it is blank, we're gonna update, and when it's not blank, we're gonna post or collect a new item. So this works like a charm. And of course here we have the existing form, But we could also say, let's do here the simple selected dot. Let's do the sample header. Okay, why doesn't this work? Did I do something wrong? This should work normally. Oh. Delete the minus. So basically what you could do when you have like a task number or a registration number, you can put the registration number in the top and people see that you are busy with this registration number, so you don't need an extra line for it. And here it's a new form, so people are informed what they are doing. So let's go on with this element. So let's see what's happening. Should we sometimes we do the delay, and I basically do that on a time field, a date, and I'm going to show you in a later video how I add a date field here, so you can put in just the numbers and get a time, for example. Okay, here we can do the border color, and basically why we didn't change them earlier is because on the combo box or the date picker these fields are not there, so we can't fill them in. That's why you should always check everything again to be sure that every variable and every field is connected in the proper way. Parent fill, and do the same for the press fill and for the Hoover fill. So let's check it one more time, and the first item is ready in our case. So let's go to the seconds and put that in the front, forward and forward, so we're gonna see it. And what we have here is the design and the way this is selected, and I really like this to be like a blue color, same as my app, or a light blue color in the way we do this. I always got problems with this control to find the right element or attribute to set, because the naming convention is a little bit strange, I think. But okay, what the heck. So let's check here. If we do everything and first check the things we know how to set, so the Hoover color, the press color. Here we can change the border color. So you see we could better have taken the text box and the combo box and do the date picker later in a later session, because then we would have be able to set more in one row. But okay, what's the heck. So, and here on this part I always get mixed up a little bit, because the saffron background, I would say this is the fill, and the fill, saffron fill, is the color. So this is basically the color. So let's say form data combo saffron color. Disable fill, and not sure about the disable fill. Normally I think I would make them transparent, but I can change that later. So the form data combo save for fill. So I think the PowerApps team should change this naming just to the fill, because everybody knows what a fill is, and that would be nice. So, and here I get mixed up what is the fill and what is the color here. So let's just try this like this, and let's see what happens. Okay, this is blue, but we don't have the hoover here, and this is white, the hoover, and I would like the hoover to be a light blue. So let's see where that part is. And I think this is the one. So let's see if that's the case. Oh no, that's this one. So here I want to have the parent fill, because I don't want the tag to have a color in here, in the element itself. So the selection tag color, let's see what's happening here. Okay, this is just the deform data color, because this is the color of this part, and this is the selection fill. Okay, let's go to here then, and probably it's this one then. But as I said, I never know for sure how this works, because I would like to hoover. Maybe I just need to change the hoover fill here. The hoover border color, hoover fill. So let's try this. Yeah, that's the one I want to change. And let's go to the hoover fill and say this is the color fades of 80% of the form data shape from fill. Okay, this is gonna be nice, like this. So now when we have selected this here, we want to be it white. So let's see where we can do that. Let's try it here, white. Let's see if this white, okay, this is the white color. Let's connect it properly, because at the end it should be, oh, I have to authenticate. Background. Is this going right? No, this is not going right, because now we have the fill of that part, and this should be the color. And now we are done. Okay, let's default set it to, and let's do it here, that it's not multiple selected. And the search normally is a thing we would like to have. So now we have our items in a nice formatted way. And of course we're gonna do the same for the date picker, but I think you get the idea. And for the next control, we can copy this, drag it, in this case to the end, send this to the back, and call this 1102. And here we have our second field we can do something on. And now when this is a text input field, we just say the text input field should be forward, and then we have a text input field there, which works fine, I would say. So now let's rename this. Always do this right away, because else you gonna forget it. I call it C for combo box, TI for text input, and 110012 calendar. Okay, that's nice. Calendar, and let's call this combo. So we have a text input, we have a combo box, and we have a calendar here. So we now have to fix the calendar, and then we have our first control done, and we are very easy to build fields up here and all the choices we have, and connect them to the selected item we select in our list, and also make a new one. Of course, we have to connect this to a data source also, and to a default selected item, but we're gonna do that in a next video. So I hope you get the idea now. Now we have a nice form, we can build it up, and I think in the next video we're gonna set up a list for this. So we're gonna make our own list, and we're gonna load it locally, and I have a nice trick for you and a nice tool. And then we're gonna do the same for this field, and we're gonna connect it, and I'm gonna show you how you can connect this very easily. Also, when you have a lot of different data sources you're gonna pull in from your SQL server or your SharePoint, we're gonna fix that with one way we can control how the output is. So it's gonna be a nice video. Okay, thank you for watching, and I speak to you in a later video. And if you like it, then please like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.